hundreds of, angry protesters inside the Capitol building, shouting things at us, calling us traitors, asking us which side we were on. But, unfortunately, as a police officer in America, you come to grow used to, I guess, like a degree of verbal abuse. And I didn't realize, I had no appreciation for how violent things had gotten at that point. It wasn't until I heard a distress call over my radio for the Lower West Terrace. All hell broke loose. They were, they just came at us with everything they had. I remember one of the insurrectionists lunging at me, trying to take my gun from the holster. And I remember people in the crowd screaming, get his gun, kill him with his gun. And then I remember starting, that's about the time when I began to be tased or electrocuted with a taser. And it just happened over and over and over again.
Mike, stay in there, buddy. Mike, it's Jimmy. I'm here. Mike.
First and foremost, January 6th, in and of itself, was an incredibly traumatic experience. But the aftermath from that day has also been very difficult to process.
I feel like I went to hell and back to protect them and the people in this room. But too many are now telling me that hell doesn't exist, or that hell actually wasn't that bad. The indifference shown to my colleagues is disgraceful.
Hundreds and hundreds of officers responded to that incident, and many of them were in the fight of their lives. And then as the days and weeks and months progressed, there was no acknowledgement for their valor. And others simply said that the day wasn't significant or wasn't real in some respects. And then we've even gone a step further now to say that those like myself who have spoken out, talked about their struggles with the trauma and mental health aspects of having survived that day are pussies. Which is unbelievable.
It's a real crisis for law enforcement in this country, and it's not a good thing. So what we're seeing is that cumulative stress from the pandemic, from long hours, from a city council that does not support the police, and it's wearing very thin on officers. Not all police officers are Derek Chauvin. Derek Chauvin is one police officer. Not all politicians are crooked. Not all priests are pedophiles. How is it that large numbers of people have this generalization for what police officers are.
Going to the wake for an officer that I worked with for years, you know, who committed suicide is just, it's unacceptable. You know, we cannot tolerate this stigma of, you know, struggling with trauma as being a sign of weakness.
That was very powerful.
It was important to me that my colleagues see that there's that level of recognition. But for me, I don't give a shit. I don't want any medals. I don't want any type of, you know, public recognition. All I want is for my country to change.